appreciate you. Everyone who has connected, please share the video on your platform and like the platform. Follow the page if you have not followed. Thank you for joining. Wherever you are connecting from, if you are joining from Biafra land, you are joining from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, whichever part of the world you are joining this program from, I appreciate you and I thank you for connecting. We must continue, regardless the attack, regardless the intimidation, regardless the distraction, regardless the obstructions. We have to continue to send out the message out there, and that is what I'm doing. I'm giving my own little contribution the best way I can. You can equally do the same. Every single one of us have a responsibility in this struggle. Everyone. It doesn't matter how small you think you are, how big you think you are. It doesn't matter how rich, how poor you think you are. It doesn't matter your location. Every single one of us have a contribution to make in this struggle. And we must continue. A lot of attack is coming. And more is going to come. If you think it's going to be easy, it is not going to be easy. It will be much more tougher than you are saying. So wherever you are connecting from today, I appreciate you. By connecting to this program and by sharing the program, you are equally playing your own role. You are doing your own little best. That is the way we can move forward. All hail Biafra. Amechi Eze. Thank you for joining. I appreciate everybody who have joined. I say may Chukwu Okuka be my guide and protect every one of you. Today we are going to talk about some issues on things that are bothering us. You know, that is what I do here. Each time I come on this very program, I don't come here to attack people or to speak against people. I only come here to try to motivate my fellow Biafrans, motivate my fellow freedom fighters, motivate our brothers and sisters who are looking for their freedom. I give out word of motivation to motivate them, to make them to stand strong and never give up. Ifoma Wobodo, thank you for joining, Ifoma. That is what I do. I don't come here to preach hate. I come here to preach love and speak of the unity of the people. So many people in the contraption called Nigeria are trapped. The Biafran people are trapped. The Oduduwa people are trapped. The Middle Belters are trapped. Even the Northerners, the Hausa people are trapped in that contraption called Nigeria. Nobody is finding it easy. Nobody is finding it funny. But the difference is that the Biafran people are outstanding. The Biafrans are outstanding. Outstanding in the sense that they are not looking back. They are outstanding in the sense that they are not looking back and they are not looking at their shoulders when they are going through what they are going. Outstanding in the sense that the Biafran people knows whom they are. They have realized whom they are. Through the message of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we realize whom we are and we said we cannot stay down. Biafran people, we have realized that we are not beggars. We have realized that we are not beggars and we cannot stay down. Opera Kingsley, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you for joining. We can't stay down. That is the difference between the Biafran people and every other tribes you're talking about. Every one of us needs freedom. Every one of us is crying for freedom. But the difference is that how are you going towards your own freedom? How are you fighting for your freedom? How are you going through it? Some people will come out and say so many things that Biafrans are having disruption on their program. Biafrans are attacking themselves. Biafrans are doing this. Biafrans are doing that. There is nothing that is happening in the struggle for the Biafra today that has not happened in the past. Everything that is happening in Biafra struggle has happened in the past in so many struggles. It is not a different issue. It's not a different scenario. Go and check every other people that have fought for freedom in the past have different factions, different divisions, and different areas. But at the end of the day, the destination is freedom. Biafran people are outstanding. Amajoyi Paul, thank you so much for joining. Biafran people are outstanding. They are so outstanding in the sense that they don't see something and keep quiet. They will always speak out. Biafrans are Republicans. They fight for their freedom, fight for their own right at every given time. Starting from their own family, starting from their friends, starting from people who are closer to them. They don't keep silent when something is going wrong. That is why it seems as if there are so many distractions in the struggle. But you, that you are a Biafran, standing as a Biafran, you have to be mentally tough for you to succeed in the struggle that we are in. You have to be mentally tough. Don't be distracted. Don't say because there are so many factions, there are so many divisions, there are so many thoughts, there are so many attacks that you cannot be able to stand for Biafra anymore. This is the time you have to stand and fight more than you have ever done. Kelechukwu, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Udem Onyeme, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. We must continue. Do not look at your shoulder. Do not look back. Continue to fight on this struggle. We will win. Definitely we win. We will win. Don't look at distractors. There are going to be many, many distractions. And if anybody tells you that freedom is going to come cheap, it will never come cheap. Freedom is not given. It is taken. You know, most of the time when we come out and we say that freedom doesn't come cheap, we say freedom is not given, it is taken. Some people laugh at it. They think we are joking. Even people who claim to be part of the one Nigeria, they begin to laugh at us. They feel that we don't know what they are saying. But today, it is becoming much clearer than ever that everything we are saying is truth. Recently, you saw the Hitler in River State. You saw the Hitler in Iguacha coming out to tell us that he wants to contest in election. And while he was saying that he wants to contest, while he was trying to bring himself out, he was saying that, using that same statement we have been making, that freedom is not being given, it is being taken. And he wants to take the power by force. Here he is talking about the contraption called Nigeria, which he knows he has no power to take it because the people are not with him. The masses are not with him. Ask the Hitler in Iguacha, how can he take the power from the Caliphate? He cannot, because the masses are not with him. The masses are not with him. He can do that in Iguacha, in River State in particular, because the Rivers people want to protect their land. They don't want anybody to penetrate. But when you are talking about taking over the power in that contraption called Nigeria, which he himself knows it will be taken by force, he doesn't have that force to take it. That is his truth. The truth is that Wike doesn't have that power to take the power. He doesn't have that strength. He doesn't have that force to take that power. This is the language we are applying in the struggle for Biafra. And we are bold to say that we are going to liberate ourselves because we are talking about our own territory, Biafra land, where the whole Biafran people are in support. Every Biafran in the old southeastern region, the present south-south and the southeast with the lower Benue, every single one of them is praying and asking for freedom. That is why we will succeed. We have all the masses behind us. We have the Biafran people behind us. And we are trying as much as possible to gather as much force as we can to be able to take that power, take our land by force. We are not trying to take another person's land. When we are asking for referendum, demanding for the freedom of Biafran people, we are not demanding to take people's land. We are not fighting to take other people's land. We are not fighting to force people into our own territory. No. What we are asking is for our own territory, Biafra land. That is where we are asking for. We are asking for our own territory, Biafra land. It is our land, our rights. We are kings and priests, and we are not supposed to be slaves. We are not supposed to be third-class citizens in our own nation, in our own land. No stranger is supposed to come to our land to dictate to us what will happen and what will not happen. And we are going to make sure that we take back our land by force. We are not going to beg anybody to give it back to us. We'll take it by force. That is the difference between those of us who know what we want and those who are pretending. When you look at that statement that Wike made, it's just pretense. Wike himself knows that he doesn't have the power, he doesn't have the authority to take anything by force from the Caliphate in the contraption called Nigeria. When you are talking about Nigeria, if you are talking of Nigeria, you cannot take anything. You can't take anything away. But when you are talking about your own territory, he was able to hold River State because that is his own territory. River State belongs to him. He is part of River State. He was able to hold it down. The Caliphate could not be able to take away River State from him because River State is his land. It is his own land. It is his right. And his own people want to protect their land. And he stood up and he held it down. But when you are talking about taking the contraption called Nigeria to yourself, Nigeria doesn't belong to anybody. Nigeria belongs to nobody. There's nobody that is patriotic to Nigeria. When you are talking about Nigeria, Nigeria belongs to the British. When you are talking about Nigeria, Nigeria is a British company established by Britain to serve their own purpose. Nigeria was not established to serve anybody. Nigeria was not established to serve the Igbo people. It was not established to serve the Hausa people. It was not established to serve the Yoruba people. It was not established to serve the Edos. It was not established to serve the Ijos. It was not established to serve any indigenous tribe in the country called Nigeria. Nigeria was established to serve the British. And the people who provided themselves as a willing tool are the Fulani Caliphate. And the funniest is that the Fulani Caliphate that gave themselves as a willing tool to the British, they are not indigenous to Nigeria. And they discovered that the only way that they can become relevant in the country called Nigeria, the only way they can become relevant is to begin to pay allegiance to Britain. They know that that is the only way they can become relevant. And because they were the willing tool in the hand of the Britain to continue to hold other people down, Britain continued to support every evil from the Caliphate. They continue to support it without looking back. And they will continue to do so. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter the game you try to play. They will continue to dance to the tune of the Caliphate and play to the tune of the Caliphate at every given time. That is the job they have signed. That is the responsibility they have taken upon themselves. And they will continue on that path. These people we are talking about have made themselves enemy to the indigenous tribe in the country called Nigeria. Fulani made themselves enemy to the indigenous tribe because they are not indigenous. Because they want to be relevant, they decided to continue to play to the tone of the British master. And whatever Britain says, they agree. They make sure that the oil continue to flow to the Western world. That is why the Western world will continue to support the evil that is coming from this caliphate. But for us, Biafrans are the leading champions of justice in that country called Nigeria. The Biafrans are standing tall, making sure that the indigenous tribe in the country called Nigeria has a voice. And that is why Biafrans are not staying down. They can't be silent. Biafrans know whom they are. They are indigenous. Biafrans are kings, princes, queens. They cannot stay down. They are not slaves. They are not born slaves. That is why we are speaking up on different fronts, fighting for that which belongs to us. That is why we have sworn to defend our territory by all means possible. Thank to Chukwu Abiyama. Chukwu Abiyama gave us our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to lead this charge. And since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started leading the charge of the struggle, he has never related his effort. He has continued to push forward that very agenda. He has continued to be truthful and consistent in all his demand. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never demanded for anything else apart from Biafra. And the Biafra that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is asking for is the Biafra that comprises of the old southeastern region, the present south-south and the southeast with the lower Benue. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is asking for. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not asking for Igbo presidency. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never at any time asked for Igbo presidency. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never asked for Igbo nation from Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never asked for any other thing, any political thing, any political post, or anything from the country of Nigeria. What he's asking is justice for the Biafran people. Referendum for Biafran people. In extension, referendum for every indigenous tribe in the country of Nigeria to decide their fate. And instead of listening to that genuine request of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Caliphate have decided to go against him. By all means possible, they went all the way to Kenya. They kidnapped him. They sent him to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition, and up to today, they are still holding him captive. They are still suffering Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are still torturing him. They have denied him every right that he has. They denied him all his rights. You can see the update that was given by the lawyers. The lawyers went to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as usual. Their routine visit. They went to visit him and saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And when you read through their update, you can see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been denied every right, every human right that he has. He has been denied of it. He has been denied of every right up to today as you are watching this video. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still going through mental and psychological torture. As you are watching this video, he is still going through torture. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still confined in a solitary confinement. As you are watching this video in your comfort zone. As you are watching this video in your comfort zone, share the video, share it to your friends, share it to family, share it to your group where you belong. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, tell people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still facing mental torture. He is still in solitary confinement for how many months? For 9 months or more now. And when we come and say we want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to release, when Biafrans begin to act on their own and demand for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, people say we are asking too much. People say we are overreacting. People say we are speaking too much. Tell me, what request can be too much? What action can be too much to ask for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What do you think is too much to do? What do you think is too much to do? We are only asking for what? Sitting at home. We are not killing anybody. We are not attacking anybody. We are not disrupting anything. We are only sitting at home by our own self to demand for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Civil disobedience. Civil disobedience is a crime. So many countries of the world have applied it. So many people have applied it in several places. It is not a violent reaction. Civil disobedience. We sit at home and demand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released unconditionally. We sit at home to show our disapproval of the attitude of the Caliphate on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We sit at home to demand and call the attention of the world for the human rights abuse of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for the psychological torture, for the confinement of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the solitary confinement of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS. And people come and talk down on it. They say it is too much to ask. Even Biafrans, supposedly Biafrans, who are supposed to be speaking of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, some of them today are talking down on those who are pushing ahead for the sit at home. You see somebody who claimed to be a Biafra, somebody who claimed to be standing for Biafra. The person will stand and be opposing the sit at home that was meant to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to free Biafra. Even though when the person has no other alternative, they will tell you they are doing something. Ask the people who said they are doing something, what have we seen for the past 9 months with all your underground work? Which one have we seen? Which one have you seen yield fruit? None. The only thing that have been yielding fruit from time and time again is what? The sit at home. If there's nothing else, the only reason why people are still talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today is because of the sit at home. The only reason why the government of Nigeria cannot push the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under the carpet, why the elite will not stop talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, why people will not continue shouting, will not stop talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case is still on the front burner because of the sit at home. Each time they talk about the sit at home, you will know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in the DSS. Each time you hear sit at home, the only reason why you hear sit at home is because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in captivity. And that has become the only channel that the Biafrans have to air their opinion. The only weapon the Biafrans has in their hand. The only check the Biafrans have to use to cash in for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is nothing else. Is the China Warozo, you're welcome. That is the only way. There is no other means we have. No other means we have to air opinion. Biafrans cannot protest in Biafra land. We cannot protest because if we protest, they will begin to kill us. Even when we are not protesting, even while we are sitting at home, you have seen what is happening in Biafra land. Even while we are not protesting, we are only sitting at home. Still, they go to the street. They go to homes of people. They burn homes, destroy businesses, destroy properties, destroy lives. Just to demonize us. The only weapon we have is that sit at home. And people will be coming and talking against it. And the most painful is that people who know very well, these people who supposedly are Biafrans, people who are Biafrans, they know very well, they know the people we are dealing with, they know the enemy we are up against. They know that the enemy we are up against do not understand any other language except the language of force. They know very well. They know why we are sitting at home, yet, instead of supporting the sit at home, instead of giving the sit at home a helping hand, they are demonizing it. What is your aim? What do you tend to achieve when you talk down on people who are supporting the sit at home? What do you intend to achieve when you arrest people who are sitting at home for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu release? What do you intend to achieve? You claim to love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You claim to pray for him. You claim that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting the just cause. I have never seen anybody that have come to the conventional media, including the politicians, and I have never seen any one of them who have come and said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not fighting the right cause. Nobody. Everybody in that contraption corner, including the Janjaweed, they know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting the right cause. Everybody knows that. They know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting the right cause. The only thing some of them say is that they say they don't like his methodology. That his methodology is not right. Tell me, which method are you going to use to talk the Janjaweed? And they will listen. Which method are you going to apply? You don't like the methodology. Which method have you brought on the table? Which method have you applied? Which method have you applied? Some of them who talk about political solution have been applied several times. Political solution was applied even from our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu. Political solution have been applied from Dim Odumegwu. Applied it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself applied it. Even Wazirike applied it. So many other people who fought for freedom of Biafra applied it, but it never worked. It never worked. You didn't see the light of the day. Even instead, they suppressed the struggle more. They put us in captivity more. They enslave us more. They increase their fraud and deceit. But when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on board, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu chose a different dimension. And the method that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have used, he used his microphone, only the microphone, just as I'm preaching today, to begin to minister to Biafran people, to wake us up and tell us what we are supposed to do and let us know whom we are. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tried to break the bond of the Caliphate in Biafra land. That was where he started. The bond of Caliphate in Biafra land, that division that the Caliphate planted, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tore it into pieces. That was the heaviest blow that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave to the Caliphate. Why they don't want to forgive him? Why they will never forgive Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why they don't want to hear him? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu destroyed their divide and rule system in Biafra land. It was only during the reign of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that you see people, you can see somebody from Iguacha speaking boldly that he is a Biafran. A Calabar man will be speaking boldly that he is a Biafran. A Akwa Ibom man will be speaking boldly that he is a Biafran. Somebody from Edo State will be speaking boldly that he is a Biafran. Somebody from Benue State will be speaking boldly that he is a Biafran. Ijo man will come out and speak boldly in the public and say he's a Biafran. It is during the tenure of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that Biafran issue was discussed in the United Nations. Biafran situation have gone wide. Everybody, there is no single person in this world today that has knowledge, that doesn't know about the situation of Biafra today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established that unity. We begin to see ourselves as people, from one source, from one grandparents. And what did they do? They took Mazi Nnamdi Kanu away. Seeing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had become that figure of unity, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had become that symbol of unity in Biafra land, they took him away among us. And after they took him away, they decided to creep in again. They are trying by all means to come in again, to establish that their division. Biafrans, you must have to stay awake. This is where you have to apply mental toughness. They took Mazi Nnamdi Kanu away from us because they know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has become the symbol of unity of Biafra. Symbol of unity of Biafra. Every Biafran person have begun to assemble around Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every one of us are assembling around him. Go and check every platform today that is speaking about Biafra. You will see the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the picture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the flag of Biafra flying. Everybody that is talking about Biafra today, go to their platform, they are mentioning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even those who are pretending, even the evil ones who are pretending, they are still talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are still talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That was why they took him away from us. And some of us have forgotten that thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing. Instead of us to stand strong and stand very strong and firm, stand firm and strong, stand firm and strong, stand firm and strong, and continue to be strong and make sure that you do not allow these fools to get in between us. You don't do that. You don't allow them to do that. You don't allow them to do that. You have to stand firm, stand strong and stand firm. Don't allow them to penetrate. Don't allow the Janjaweed to penetrate. They are trying by all means possible to penetrate. Don't allow them to penetrate. They want to try to to bring back that thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have removed. They want to introduce it and bring it back. And some of us Biafrans, we are allowing them. We are allowing that divide and rule to come in again. That is why you see some sections, people calling themselves different names. You will see your brother who is genuinely fighting for Biafra, your brother who is genuinely speaking out for Biafra, instead of you to support him or her, you will be busy demonizing him. You see different factions from all angles, from all corners. You see different factions from all corners, from all angles. Why don't we support those who are doing the right thing? If you're a Biafran and you pretend not to know that which is right, you are worse than the enemy. You are worse than the enemy. If you are Biafran and you are pretending not to know what is right, you are worse than the enemy. Every one of us know the people who are making impact in the struggle today. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been kidnapped can never put an end to the struggle for Biafra. It will not. Chukwu Okike will always raise a figurehead. Chukwu Okike will always give us a voice. No matter how they try to stop our voice, Chukwu Okike will always give us a voice. And today, Chukwu Okike have given us a voice in the person of our brother Mazi Simon Ekpa. Our brother Mazi Simon Ekpa have been doing a wonderful work. A wonderful work, making impact. Making impact. He has been able to make a lot of impact. He has established so many platforms for us to be able to send our messages. He has established a platform that is so strong that it cannot be brought down. He has a platform that even if Facebook refuses us to broadcast, just the way the Facebook is frustrating our broadcast, most of the time when we are broadcasting, you see Facebook trying to frustrate our views, limiting our content. But Mazi Simon Ekpa was able to overcome that. He established a platform where he can be able to send out a message. He went ahead to establish the Voice of Biafra. The Voice of Biafra today is running 97.5 FM. You can connect to Voice of Biafra from any angle. Sponsored by fellow Biafrans, sponsored by you and I. Sponsored by Biafrans. It is Biafrans that are sponsoring the Voice of Biafra. Every single Biafran, you and I, we are stakeholders in the Voice of Biafra to make sure that the right message continues to go through. To make sure that we continue to support and continue to give strength to everything we are saying. We have to continue on that path. Time have gone when we will continue to talk against each other or continue to demonize each other. This is the time to stand firm and stand strong. We have to be mentally tough. If we must overcome, we have to be mentally tough. Mentally tough in all angles, in all ramification. Because the enemy we are up against is not looking back. The enemy we are up against is not relenting their effort. The enemy we are up against is not a small one. We are up against the richest people you can think of in this world. The richest companies you can think of in this world. The people who have the greatest mind and the greatest weapon you can think of in this world. Those are the people we are up against. Check about the oil companies you have in the Biafra land. Who owns those oil companies? The people that own the oil company you have in the Biafra land are the world powers. The world powers, they have a lot to gain from this contraption called Nigeria. They have a lot to gain. They have a lot of things at stake. That is why they will continue to support the Caliphate. They will continue to support the Caliphate at all angles. But how are we going to overcome them? We will only overcome them by the power of the masses, because we own the land and we own the people. We have to overcome them by being consistency and united. Being truthful to each other and being consistent in what we are doing. When we say a word, we stand by that word, pursue it to the end, not looking back. That is what we are supposed to be doing. But it is so sad that so many Biafrans, instead of us doing that which is needful, we don't do it. We focus on distraction. We focus on talking about relevance. Today, you see the challenges we are facing. The challenges we are facing in Biafra land today, you see the way the lives are being lost in Biafra land. Lives are being lost. It is very clear that Biafran people has no representation anywhere in that Caliphate country called Nigeria. In that British company called Nigeria, the Biafran people have no representation. Nobody to represent us. It is we that will represent ourselves and stand for ourselves. Nobody anywhere will represent us. We have to stand up and fight for ourselves. That is why we are doing so. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that they are holding captive, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have established certain things on the ground, even before he was being kidnapped. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have laid a foundation that if we Biafrans can follow the foundation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there's nothing that will make us not to bring Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have laid a foundation that even if they continue to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that the struggle will continue and Biafra will definitely be achieved. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself will be released. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have put in place a great structures, very strong foundation that he have led. One of the major foundation that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu led is the ESN, and we must support that ESN and hold ESN strong. But today, you see even our fellow Biafrans, they are fighting against ESN. Fellow Biafrans are fighting against ESN, fighting against. When you are talking about fundraising for ESN, you will see people opening their dirty mouth to talk against this. If you don't want to contribute to ESN, why don't you keep your mouth shut? Focus on whatever you think is the best way for you to follow. Focus on that. That which you feel is the best way for you to fight for the freedom. Focus on it and stop demonizing your own fellow Biafrans.
Are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you, if you come and stand on the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold the whole of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals, they are saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You cannot go everywhere. We must continue.